सुनो मत बोलो. Wherever, whenever, whatever you are, be 100% कर्नाटक. किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो. ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना. Who asked you live at zero complete level? मौज में रहो, be happy.
Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Atmadhirev vidyeti yadi tarhi sukhi bhava. Therefore, spiritual attainment is know yourself. Don't bother about the world. See, there is one topic in our scriptures, and the topic is also seen in Bhagavad Gita in 3 places. 2nd, 12th and 14th chapter. And the topic is the description of the wise man. In 2nd chapter, the wise man is called as Sita Prajna. In the 12th chapter, the wise man is called as a devotee. And in the 14th chapter, the wise man is called as Gunatita Purusha. Now, when we study these topics, is it for evaluating the Mahatmas? Is it for describing the great masters? No. This topic is meant for, they are the arrow marks for us to follow that path. Therefore, our attention should be on our being, not on what others are doing. See? Like you will see many Mahatmas. One young boy said, you know, Swami Vivekananda was also smoking. So if I smoke, then, but he did other things also. That I can't do. I practice slowly. See, friends, we don't try to imitate what the masters are doing. We follow the path. Therefore, this student has come to this conclusion. Atmadhi eva vidyeti yadi tadi sukhi bhava. So if you came to this conclusion that know your divine self. Mayi eva sakalam jatam, mayi sarvam pradishtitam, mayi sarvam layam yati, tad brahmadvayam asmeham. Sukhi bhava. But dushta chittan nirundhyat chet. But is it not we should control our mind? Okay, control, no problem. Atmadhireva vidyeti yadi tarhi sukhi bhava, dushta chitta nirundhyat chet. But isn't it we should control our mind? Control, we didn't stop you to that. And sukhi bhava. Control your mind and sukhi bhava. Up to here we have seen. Now we go to the next step. Tad ishtavyam eva maya mayatvasya samikshanat. What you said just now in the last verse, we should have controlled mind. Yes, you are right. We should have controlled mind. That ishtavyam. And therefore, why it is should be practiced? Because maya mayatvasya samikshanat. The mind itself is an expression of maya. Three paths are indicated. First, karma. Second, upasana. And third, yoga. Karma is done for fulfilling the desires. Upasana is done for getting the things from the back door entry. A devotee does not want justice, he wants favor. Oh God, you know I am good for nothing, even then give me. So devotees are chalu, walking, and the yogi. Yogis are doing yoga to invoke the various siddhis. Anima, Garima, Agima, Karishma. All siddhis together are called as Karishma. So they struggle. Now here we are told, you are doing karma so that the mind is available, then upasana and yoga. Why are you struggling with the mind? Then find out what is this mind which is troubling you. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. Manasam tu kim? This mind you are disturbed so much. Find out what is the mind. Manasam tu kim? When you inquire what the mind is, naiva manasam. Mind is not. And whole life we run after the dumb thing which doesn't exist. So, yes, mind should be controlled. Do that. Very good. And then you will come to know Maya mayatva asya. You will come to know there is nothing like mind. More and more you reflect on this, life becomes beautiful. Light is neither in the bulb nor in electricity. The bulb is fused, light nahi, what to do? Put your fingers in the socket, light will come out of you. So, light is an amalgam of two things. It is manifestation, it is not reality. But no, we should control the mind. ऐसा ही करना चाहिए. And this is what the yogi do. They tell, Chitta Vritti Nirodha. That student is booked for whole life. Keeps on doing. कहाँ तक आया? पता नहीं. So, once you come to know, mind itself is an illusion. You will not bother about the mind. Thoughts come, let them come and go. So what will be the spiritual practice? As you listen to my talks, listen to the world. Maybe it is okay for you to talk, but it is very difficult. Suffer. So, icchan api anichan kim ichchati iti shrutam. And therefore, we have to understand that wise man is, although functioning in this world, but his function is not like the ignorant person. He is not doing anything to get something. How important it is. So once we come to know this world is an illusion and all that is gathered through the mind is an illusion, will we ever struggle? So Adnyavat, like the ignorant, he will not be working in this world. So both of them are engaged in this world. The ignorant and the wise. Ignorant is struggling to achieve something, while he is living in this world for time pass. Na kuch pana, na kuch khona. Therefore, kimichan, this is the meaning of this kimichan kasya kamaya. Now after this was said, then rago lingam abodhasya santu raga dayo budhe iti shastradvayam sartham eva sati avirodhita. In the Upanishad, these contradictory statements come. Rago lingam abodhasya. What are the signs of ignorance? Desire, attachment. And santu raga dayo budhe. But the wise people also may have attachment. See? One way you say attachment is a sign of ignorance, and you say let the wise be having attachment. Is it not contrary? This is answered here. So, Jagan Mithyatva Swatma Asangatvasya Samikshanat. These two things are with the wise man. One is Jagan Mithyatva. World is not taken as real. Friends, if we really take this in letter and spirit, then we can wash the world. Bhagwan Ram came, gone. क्या फर्क पड़ा? भगवान कृष्ण came, his Dwarka disappeared. क्या फर्क पड़ा? Nothing. It's like that only. But we become so much serious about it. Contrary to that, the flowers bloom in the forest. They have the fragrance. They don't care whether somebody will come and pick me up and smell. No, because they don't give fragrance. They have fragrance. The sun doesn't give light or heat. The sun has light or heat. This is the difference between the wise and the otherwise. Therefore, kasya kamaya iti vachaha bhoktrutva abhava vivakshaya. Therefore, when there is no bhoktrutva, experiencer, so atmanam chet vijaniyat ayam asti purusha kimichan kasya kamaya, there is no desirer. Then why is living time pass? Na kuch pana, na kuch kona. See friends, iti vacha bhoktrutva abhava vivakshaya. Therefore, there is no enjoyer. There is enjoy, but no enjoyer. Now, this particular topic is now further elaborated. Pati jayadikam sarvam tattat bhogaya nechati kintu atma bhogartham iti shruto udghoshitam bahu. Now, here again one important topic we have to understand. Whenever something is explained or told in the scriptures, and if we do not have proper reference to context, in what context this particular statement was made, we are certainly to be confused and in a chaotic understanding. So this topic comes. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati Brihadaranyaka. What is the example here? Pati jayadikam sarvam tattat bhogaya nechati. The wife is dear to the husband not for the sake of the wife but for his own sake. The husband is dear to the wife not for the sake of the husband but for her own sake. 8, 9 examples are given. Now, here what is meant? This we have to understand. Kintu atma bhogartham. Meaning what? We are enjoying the object not for the sake of the object. Poor Srikhand is sitting there feeling lonely. Okay, I'll eat. Then what happens? Our attention comes on the self, not on the worldly objects. It is for this purpose this statement is said. Now continuing further. Kim kutastha chidabhasa athva kim ubhayatmakaha bhokta tatra na kutastha asangatpat bhoktrutam vaye. Now here, when this statement is said, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. The enjoyer is I. Enjoyer, bhokta is I. Now who is the bhokta? This is now inquired. Kim Kutastha is the Kutastha Chaitanya, the self, absolute self, on whom this whole Panchakoshas are superimposed. Is he the enjoyer or sufferer? Kim Kutastha. Kim Chidabhasa? Or is it the Chidabhasa? Now what is Chidabhasa? Chidabhasa is reflection of consciousness in the thought of body is called a Chidabhasa. That day I gave you example. If you look at my beautiful face, somewhere, wherever there is a tight skin, you see a special spot. Other thing, normal light, but in a particular spot, special. So that particular spot is called Chidabhas. So this cannot happen everywhere. It can happen only in particular media, and that media is called Vijnanamaya Kosh. So in the gross, there is no Chidabhas. In the Pranamaya Kosha, there is no Chidabhas. But only in the Vijnanamaya Kosha, the consciousness expresses as a reflection. And because of that reflection, that Vijnanamaya Kosha as if becomes enlivened. This Vijnanamaya Kosha is 100% in waking. Therefore, in the waking, I, ego is 100%. In dream, Vijnanamaya Kosha is 50%. Therefore, I, ego is 50%. In deep sleep, Vijnanamaya Kosha is completely dissolved. Therefore, there is no ego at all. It's only the life which is throbbing without anybody enjoying or suffering. You are talking about the Bhoktrutva Abhiman. So, Kim Kutastha Chidabhasa Athava, so neither the Kutastha Chaitanya or the Chidabhasa or Ubhayatmakaha, both Kutastha Chaitanya as well as Chidabhasa. Out of these three, who is the enjoyer or experiencer of every experience? Tatra, among these three options, no Kutastha. Kutastha cannot be the enjoyer or sufferer because asangatvat bhoktrutam na vrajet. The Kutastha Chaitanya being unattached does not suffer or enjoy. Like the light, whether it is falling on the Vigraha of the Bhagavan or falling on the dirty filth, doesn't get touched. And therefore, Kutastha Chaitanya does not get the status of enjoyer or sufferer. First step. Now we go to the second step. Sukha dukkha bhimanakyo vikaro bhoga uchyate. Now who is the bhokta, who is the enjoyer, and what is the bhoga? Bhoga is sukha dukkha abhimanakya vikaraha bhoga uchyate. Experience of the modification of joy and sorrows is called as bhoga, experience. Kutasthascha vikari chet. If we say the Kutastha Chaitanya, which is not subject to modification, then how can we say that Kutastha Chaitanya is the experiencer? And therefore, Kutasthasya vikari chet etanna vyahatam katham. And therefore, this is contradiction in terms. Therefore, first conclusion, that who is kasya kamaya, who is the experiencer? So first is Kutastha Chaitanya is ruled out. He is not the experiencer. One thing is out. Now second thing. Vikari buddhi adhinatvat abhase vikrutau api niradhisthana vibhranti kevala nahi tishtati. Now we come to the Chidabhasa, reflection of consciousness in the Vijnanamaya Kosha, the thoughts. Now here the teacher says, Vikari buddhi adhinatvat. The buddhi, intellect, by itself is, by default is vikari, constant modifications. See? Like if I look at one finger, my mind or buddhi has taken the shape of this object. If there are two, immediately the same mind has taken the shape of two objects. If three, and if two are removed, again it is back to one. So our mind is constantly changing the shape, like this light. How many fingers? One. Now two. Where from two have come? Because the light is illuminating. Therefore, our buddhi, intellect is constantly undergoing changes. So, vikari buddhi adhinatvat. So, this chidabhasa is dependent on the modifications of the thoughts or the buddhi. Vikrutau api. Although along with the modification of the buddhi, this chidabhasa also moves. So, take an example. If you are seeing some, let us take a lake, very still, calm and quiet. In one of my recent video, I was in South Africa. We were driving along the coast for 2 days. It was such a great experience. So one place we stopped and we went in the sea. Nice, beautiful, clean. So as usual, I took my camera and I called my friend. I said, "Come here." We were standing in the water and it was a bright sun. Then I said, "Don't talk in between, simply watch. Then I'll tell you." So I was taking the video. Our shadow was falling on the ground. When the water comes, the shadow is not washed away, it remains there. Again the water comes, again the shadow is the same. So after 2-3 times, I said, "Now listen. This shadow is not influenced by the coming and going of the water." Clear? Yes. I said, we are also not influenced by coming and going of the water. So what is happening? Nothing is happening. How simple it is. So this Chidabhasa has no independent existence. Chidabhasa depends on the on the consciousness. Consciousness reflected is Chidabhasa. So three things. Consciousness is not the enjoyer or sufferer, ruled out. Now second, is the Chidabhasa sufferer or enjoyer? Not possible. Why? If there is no consciousness, there cannot be Chidabhasa. Okay. So consciousness is not enjoyer or the Chidabhasa is not enjoyer. Why? Because niradhisthana vibhranti kevala naitishtati. Because unless there is the original consciousness, there cannot be Chidabhasa. Both of them sorted out. Now third. Ubhayatmaka evato loke bhokta nigadyate. Now normally it is told and accepted also up to some level. Ubhayatmakaha. That means the conscious, the Chidabhasa and the Buddhi. These two things together are brought. Ubhayatmakaha eva ataha loke bhokta nigadyate. Now, tadruk atmanam arabhya. So what is Chidabhasa? Chidabhasa is reflected consciousness. Without consciousness, Chidabhasa cannot come. So where it is reflected in the thought. So we take together. So tadruk atmanam arabhya kutastha sheshitau sheshitaha shrutau. This is how we start. Who is the enjoyer or the sufferer? Be very attentive. It's a very simple topic. आत्मा कथम इत्युक्ते याज्ञवल्क्यो विबोधयन् विज्ञानमय आरभ्य असंगम तम पर्यशेषयत्. So this Janak the king approached Yajnavalkya Rishi and asked him the question, Atma Katama, who is the Atma? Where is the Atma? Who am I? So Yajnavalkya said that out of the Panchakoshas, Vijnanamaya Kosha is the Atma. He started from there. So what is Vijnanamaya Kosha? reflection of consciousness in the thought, and the thought is identification with the body. That is called a Vidyanamaya Kosha. Agreed. He started from there. And then slowly, he developed the topic. So Vijnanamayam Arambhya Asangam Tam Paryasheshat. And ultimately he concluded that there is no experiencer. It's so important. That example I gave you about the girl who was divorced and came to me. Now that girl who was divorced, what happened to the wife that she was? Who was suffering? Wife. Is wife a reality? Think. So what we will have to tell? Look here. As a wife you are miserable. There is nothing new. Everybody has got some or the other problems. Don't take husbands seriously. Husbands are dumb. Therefore they get married. You have to come out of it. But when we take, the wife is real, suffering. How many times you will go on changing? There are people, they go on changing. But they forget the one who is miserable doesn't exist. Simple it is. So, Atma Katam Ityukte, who is miserable? Wife is miserable. Now, we start from the wife. Now, how the wife is born? Are you wife by birth? No. By mistake. Very good. So, are you wife 24/7? No. Only in association with the husband. So, make fool of him and get your things done. Relax. Don't take things seriously in life. That is the purpose of study of scriptures. So, Vijnanamaya Arambhya Asangam Tam Paryashayet. So, ultimately we started from who is this Atma? So, Koyam Atma iti evam adau sarvatra Atma Vijarataha. So, Yagyavalkya Rishi started in replying this question, Koyam Atma. Who is this Atma? So, he started Sarvatra Atma Vijarataha. He started from the world and then the things and then the body, then the Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha is the Atma. Because when Vijnanamaya Kosha is absorbed in deep sleep or under anesthesia, there is nobody who is enjoying or suffering. Therefore, Atma is Vijnanamaya Kosha. This is how we started. Koyam Atmeti iti adau sarvatra Atma Vicharata Ubhayatmaka Arambhya. So, what is the Vijnanamaya Kosha? Prakriti or the thought plus reflection of the consciousness in the thought. And from here started and where he concluded Kutastha Sheshyate Shrutau. And ultimately came back to the Kutastha Chaitanya. Now how he came back? Kutastha Satyatam Swasmin Adhyasya Atma Vivekataha Atma Avivekataha Tatvikim Bhoktrutvam Matva Na Kadachit Jyasasi. Now what is happening? The Kutastha Chaitanya is real. And the reflection of the Kutastha Chaitanya in the thought is not real. But the modification of the thoughts with which the reflection appears to have become modified. So the appearance of the reflection of consciousness and the reality of the Kutastha Chaitanya, a khichadi is made. And I as the Chidabhasa or the reflection becomes real. So I as a wife becomes real. I as a woman is real and I as a wife is not real, and yet I get identified with that to such an extent that thereafter I start living I as a wife is real. And then this wife continues to be miserable. Khichdi. So, I as a woman is real, but I as a wife is not real. Now, what sadhana I will do? From the wife is a virtual reality, and the woman is the actual reality. So, what is the spiritual practice? A journey from the husband to the man, or from the wife to the woman. Can there be any simpler explanation about spiritual practice? This non-existing entity is born. Show the wife apart from the woman, show the husband apart from the man. You cannot, because it doesn't exist. See, remember, I told you one example. In Goa, when we came out of the boat, all the people were standing. I was also standing, but I kept on moving. What happened to you? See, the boat is moving, no? But you are out of the boat. So what? Exactly the same way. The wife conditioned woman is miserable. But that conditioned woman becomes real because the woman is real. Therefore, the rule is aupadhik anekta is an illusion. Out of one man, so many are born. He is a son, he is a husband, he is a father, he is a brother. And this man is miserable only because of the father, because of the wife, because of the son, because of the brother. He is not miserable as a man. Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata. Mahabharata war was not among enemies, brothers. We all suffer unnecessarily because of relations. And we give a status of reality. The word is relations. They are not absolute. From the relatives, you can get relative happiness, not absolute happiness. You are the source of absolute happiness. So, kutastha satyatam swasmin adhyasya atma avivekataha tatvikim bhoktruta matva na kadachit jihasati. And then he starts thinking, I am unfortunate, see, other people are so lucky, and I am like constant. Nobody can help such a person. Friends. So what is being done now? Kasya kamaya? We are bringing our attention from the objective world to the subjective person. Therefore that mantra, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. So worldly objects, things and beings are secondary. We are not enjoying the food for the sake of the food, but for our sake. So come back to yourself. And after having come, now ascertain who is enjoying or suffering. So is the Paramatma, Kutastha Chaitanya suffering? Not possible because no modification. Then is the mind suffering? Mind also doesn't suffer because it is inert. On one table you put a stone, it doesn't become problem for the table. Both are inert. Then is it the Chidabhasa suffering? Yes, Chidabhasa plus the mind. These together becomes a khichdi. And the Chidabhasa plus the modification of the mind is disturbed, I am disturbed. Mind is quiet, I am quiet. From here we start inquiry. And then we go further. And we come to know Chidabhasa does not have independent existence. When the bulb becomes fused, where the light goes. When the pot breaks, where the pot space grows. Think. But we are so deeply rooted. मरने के बाद क्या होता है? And then you go and read that useless thing, Garud Puran. You listen to the last chapter of Garud Puran. If you listen to the last chapter properly, you will be clearly able to recognize earlier chapters are bluffs. Listen to the last chapter. The purpose is first bring to your cognition you are someone other than body. Therefore, the concept of jiva is introduced. And to keep the jiva under control and discipline, then hell and heaven is told. But when you start inquiring who is the enjoyer or sufferer, then you come to this Panchadashi. See? Therefore, who is enjoying Bhokta Swasvaya Bhogaya Pati Jaya Ichchati Esha Loka Kvrittantaha Srutya Samyak Uditaha. So the popular understanding, what is Shruti Mata tells, that everything is dear to us for our sake, not for the sake of the object. So Bhogyanam Bhoktru Sheshatvat Ma Bhogeshu Anurajyatam Bhoktari Eva Pradhane Taha Ataha Anuragam Tam Viditsati. So by this what is told, that we may be enjoying, but our main attention is on ourselves. If I don't enjoy, I throw it away. So what is done by this statement? Our attention is brought to the experiencer. If somebody is sleeping, very open-hearted person, they sleep with the open mouth. And in their open mouth, if you put a rasgulla, एक और डाल दो. He won't say, put one more. Because there is no experiencer. See, friends, because Vijnanamaya Kosha is dissolved. Because Vijnanamaya Kosha is dissolved, life is, but body is not there. Body is born when life or the Chetana expresses as mind. In that mind only, the consciousness expresses as Chidabhas. See, friends. So, Bhogyana Bhoktru Sheshatvat Bhogeshu Ma Anurajyatam. So, once we come back to the experiencer, then we don't get too much involved in the enjoyed objects. So, when I like sweets, but I know if I eat sweets, I get too much in trouble. Therefore, I keep away. So, where is our attention? Not on the object, on ourselves. So, Bhaktari eva pradhane to anuragaha. So, we are real loving ourselves, not the worldly objects. Bhaktari eva pradhane anuragaha tam viditsati. Only to suggest us this. This is told by the scriptures. So we are brought to our own source. And thereafter many beautiful shlokas come in Purana. Ya pritihi avivekanam visheshu anupayini tvam anusmarataha same hrudayan mam apasarpatu. The prayer is, as the ignorant people are attached to the worldly objects, O God, let I be attached to you. Like our Truptideep says, na, Kamihi nari piyari jimi, lobihi priya jimidam, timi raghunatha nirantara, priya lagohu mohiram. It is the translation of this shloka from the Purana. Therefore, our attention should be on the self, not on the world. Iti nyayena sarvasmat bhogya jatat viraktadhihi. When this is practiced and understood, then what will happen? Sarvasmat bhogya jatat viraktadihi. We will be naturally withdrawn. We cannot get entangled in the objective pursuit in life. And if this is not done, then we want to improve the world, we want to do good to the world, and one day you get a kick. There was one man, he must not be alive now. When I was young, I happened to meet him in Calcutta. My host and his host was common. So morning when we were sitting for breakfast, that time I was young and he was 85 or so. So I said, Babuji, namaste. He said, I will not call you Swami. You are like my beta. I said, you call me anything. What is there in name? Call a dog mad and hang it. Then, what do you do? I said, I do nothing. Will be. I give talk on Gita. Do you think that your Gita talk is improving world? I said, no. I don't want them to improve. My market will go. I want to. He said, you are very peculiar. I said, manufacturer defect. Actually, he asked me so that I should ask him about him. So I knew that. I said, Babaji, I'm so sorry, I don't know anything about you. You must be a great person, you must be a great Mahatma. I'm extremely sorry, I don't know anything about you. Started. I was inspired by Mahatma Gandhi and Vinoba Bhave. I was studying in the college. I left it halfway. They told me, go and do social service for the nation. Those days, that Quit India movement was very warm. So I was sent to Nagaland. There I started. I developed an institution. Day and night. Khun pasina ek karke, standard dialogue. And a big institution was developed. And now the same people for whom I worked so hard, they are after my blood. And they want to kill me. I came here only because of that. Up to here it was okay. Thereafter, the bitterness started coming out. Bile started coming out. He said, this world is like a kutte ki dum. World is like a dog's tail. When it came, I said, I must relax now. I said, Babaji, the beauty of the dog is because of the crooked tail. Imagine a dog with a tail like a dish antenna. It can't look beautiful. The beauty of the dog is only because of the crooked tail. See, if you have served, you cannot get hurt. See, we serve our parents. Whom we serve? Those for whom we have respect and reverence. We take care of the dogs. We don't serve the dogs. If we are serving the society and getting hurt, it was not service. It was the worship of the ego. I have done so much. I have done so much. And therefore, such people suffer. So, iti nyayena sarvasmad bhogya jatat viraktadihi. Recognizing this, one is naturally withdrawn, not out of frustration. Naturally withdrawn. Upasamhrityatam priti bhoktari eva buvutsate. Now his all attention is on his own source. Who am I? Whence am I? What is this world? In no time, you withdraw. Now, after our attention comes on the self, this is what Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is Your thought was, who am I? But this, don't ask anybody. You find out. In one college, one youngster asked me this question. After the talk, Swamiji, I got a question. I said, ask. Who am I? Then I asked him, should I tell you the truth or bluff? He said, for a change, tell the truth. I said, you are a fool of the highest order. Do you mean Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi was a fool? I said, no, he didn't ask me this thing. You have asked. See, who am I? You find out. If you have hunger, you have to take food. If you have a health problem, you have to take medicine. There is no proxy on the spiritual path. There is no proxy to live. There is no proxy to die. There is no proxy on the spiritual path. What we do, Panditji, do Mrityunjay Mahamantra for 1 crore times for my health. Okay, Sethji. Dakshina, you people are very greedy, money. Take 100 rupiah. And then Sethji turns and Panditji says, Sethji, your japa is over. Mahamrityunjay japa so quickly? 100 रुपए में यही मान मिलता है. There is no proxy on the spiritual path. We have to live our life, we have to die our death, we have to walk our spiritual path. Shurasya dhara nishita durattaya durgam patastat kavayo vadanti. It is not a crowd. See, the more you are deeply rooted in this, your extrovertedness disappears. Therefore, strak chandana vadhu vastra suvarnadishu pamaraha apramattaha. Pamara means the disgusted ones. Apramattaha, they are so committed. For what? Strak, Chandana, Vadu, Stri, Suvarna. You know all these words. They are so committed to that. Yatha tadvan na pramadyati bhoktari. So as the ignorant people are committed to the indulgence and worldly things to the same intensity, oh Lord, let me be committed to the self. Tadvat na pramadyati. One has to be totally committed to this. Then only the truth is revealed. Again, examples are given. Kavya nataka tarkadim abhyasati nirantaram viji gishur jatha tadvan mumukshu samvichare. Now take a simple example other than this. Those who want to earn the gold medals in Olympics, for example, running. Keep on running every day. I must have every day. Today it was 2 seconds less. Okay, tomorrow I should be more. Why? They have a goal. I want to be first. Same way with weightlifting fellows. I want to be the first. In the same manner, nirantaram abhyasati. Similarly, vijigishiyatha tadvad mumukshu samvicharayet. In the same manner, the only theme that we entertain is be at peace with yourself. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha na medhaya na bahuna shrutena yamayvesha vrunute tena labhyaha tasyaisha atma vivrunute tanum swam. Ayam Atma pravachanena givena na labhya. By giving lectures, nothing happens. Na medhaya. You are able to quote left and right. Na bahuna shrutena. Professional satsangi. But jamai vesha vrunate tena labhya. He who seeks the truth to the exclusion of everything. Be attentive. To him, the truth reveals. Ramcharitmanas. Bhagwan Rama is born. How? By Prakata Kripala. Bhagwan is not born. Where is he not? He manifests. In our suitcase, is the space brought from outside to put the contents? No. Empty the suitcase. The space is already there. In the same manner, in our heart, so much of garbage is there. We are not allowing him to express. Hey friends. Otherwise, all the day, nobody can help us in this. Tadvad mumukshu swam vicharaye. Be attentive. Eyes can see everything. Eyes cannot see themselves. Mind can think about everything. The moment the mind is focused on itself, thinking disappears. When thinking disappears, you continue to be there. Waking comes, goes. What happens to us? Dream comes and goes. What happens to us? Sleep comes and goes. What happens to us? Samadhi begins and ends. What happens to us? In the space, clouds, thundering, raining, come and go. Space doesn't become weight. In the second round of thundering clouds, no rains. Space doesn't become disturbed. Then there is dark night. Space is not afraid. And there is a blue sky. Space does not become beautiful. That Chidakasha, that conscious space is our being. This is what Tadvad Mumukshu Samvicharayet. Atma Chintan Karo. I was in Guwahati. In a Jain family I was staying. So they asked me, Swamiji, our sadhvi also tell and you also tell Atma Chintan Karo. But they don't tell Atma Chintan Karo means what? I said, it's very simple. Stop Anatma Chintan. Listen to silence means what? Stop reacting to sounds. When we react, we participate. Don't react. जो तारी रहा है सो मारी रहा है. Relax. तद्वद मुमुक्षु स्वम विचारेत. जप योग उपासनादि कुरुते श्रद्धया यथा स्वर्गादि वांछया तद्वद श्रद्धास्वे मुमुक्षया. Those who are doing the japa, yoga, upasana with great faith that by this I will go to the heaven. And with that, they are so dedicated doing the japa all the time. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Why? I want to go to heaven. They have got faith, no doubt about it. How much commitment? In the same manner, tadvat shraddhasva mumukshaya, for your own recognition of the divine, be faithfully working on this. We have to have faith in God, faith in Guru, faith in scriptures, and faith in ourselves. We may suspect scriptures, doubt Guru. At least have faith in yourself. See, friends, Shraddhasva. Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatparaha sayyatendriya. Bhagavan says in 4th chapter. Tatpara, sayyatendriya and Shraddhavan, 3 qualities. I have got Shraddha, but Bhagavan is not coming. Bhook nahi lagi na. Therefore, with the Shraddha, in the same manner, only one thing, that is. Therefore, Chittai Gagram Yatha Yogi Mahayasena Sadhayet Animadi Pripsaya Eva Vivichastvam Mumukshaya. Yogis are doing all kinds of sadhana, Kriya Yoga and Nishkarma Karma Yoga. Everything you do. For what? I should get various Siddhi, Anima, Garima. I told you one Siddhi, which includes everything. Karishma. So I can get it. But they are so committed to that. Tadvat, in the same manner, mumukshaya, by intense longing to know the truth. Mumuksha is moktum ichha. But we are not finding that we are in bondage. Come, you are telling you are in bondage. We are not. We are very. Like Arjun. When a situation came in his life, then he started. Na etad vidbakkatar no gariyo yadvaje ma yadivano jayu. I don't know what I should do. And then ultimately he confesses. See? Dharma sammudha cheta. I am confused. Why? Karpanya dosho pata svava. By Karpanya dosha, self-pity. Why self-pity came? He never expected that he has to fight with his guru, with his grandfather, with his brother. He knew it, but he was not aware of that. That awareness was brought by Bhagavan Krishna to Arjun. And therefore he says, Pashyayetan kurun partha. Arjun, you don't have to fight with the enemies. All of them belong to the same Kuru clan. No fight. And then he got totally paralyzed. Bhagavan didn't say anything. He was having chewing gum. Maja. And then when Arjuna said, Shishyasteham shalimam tvam prapannam. Therefore, tad vijnanatam gurumeva vigachet samit panihi shrotriyam brahmanishta. And thereafter, what was happening throughout Bhagavad Gita? Only one thing was established, wrong notion was removed. Wrong notion was whether I am a disciple, a grandfather, a brother, or a warrior. So our whole study is only for this. We have to decide whether I am a mother, father, uncle, auntie, a grandfather, grandmother. What are you? And then find out who is miserable. So every tragedy in our life can be converted into tragedy yoga. And by that tragedy yoga, our life's direction will change from dogward to Godward. See, Therefore, chittaikagrim yatha yogi mahayasena sadayet animadi prepsaya eva vivichastvam mumukshaya. No other theme should be a great interest for us. कौशलानि विवर्धते तेषाम अभ्यास पाठवान यथा तद्व विवेको अपि अभ्यासात् विशदायते. So when you are practicing it again and again, our expertise becomes extremely wonderful. Exactly the same way. When you practice it again and again, what happens is you discover a new vision. And in that vision, every experience of our life gives us a message. That message is the divine sent wisdom. Therefore, we told you, real spiritual practice is learning from every passing message. Everywhere you can see, like these lights. Lights are falling everywhere. Reflection is not everywhere. In this floor it is there. Because it is capable of reflecting. On the wall it is not there. In the same manner, consciousness can reflect only in the mind, in the Vijnanamaya Kosh. Slowly, slowly, everywhere you get the experience and suggestions. And then you keep on. Suppose you cover this reflection of the light with a cloth. What is happening to the reflection? Lift the cloth. कहाँ गया? कहाँ गया? Where it has gone? If you step on that reflection, is it going to break? But it appears. Therefore, conditioned expressions are appearances. They don't exist. So all the relations, mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, they appear, don't exist. Children are born through us. Children are not born to us. The same parents, 4 children. One is knowledge oriented, second is action oriented, third is business oriented, fourth is government servant. First is Brahmin, second is Kshatriya, third is Vaishya, fourth is Shudra. From the same parents. Body wise they look alike. Where from the differences have come? But we get so much involved in them. See, friends, therefore every difficulty, every tragedy in our life is a God-sent message. Enough of this. The kaushalani vivardante tesham abhyasa patavat. So all these yogis, etc., when they practice, their expertise becomes extreme. Tadvat, similarly, vivekaha api asya abhyasad vishadayate. Then every experience is a gateway to the divine. Slowly, slowly, we are able to understand everything subjectively. So, vivinchata bhoktrutvam jagradadishu asangata अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्याम साक्षिणी avadisiyate. So, vivichatam bhoktrutvam. Now, when you start inquiring the experiencer, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, where the waker goes when the waking experience is over, where the dreamer goes when the dream is over, nowhere. But he did experience good and bad. He can go anywhere if he exists. Think. Then Anvaya Vyatireka-abhyam. Anvaya Vyatireka-abhyam means what? A simple example. Gold can exist without becoming ornaments. But ornaments cannot exist without the gold. So presence of the gold in the ornament is anvaya, and absence of the ornaments in the gold is vyatirek. This is the meaning. Similarly, anvaya vyatirekabhyam. Waking, the self is there. Then waking is over. But in the dream, the waker is not there, but the self is there. Then dream is over. The dreamer is not there, the waker is not there, but in the deep sleep, the self is there. When deep sleep is over, deep sleeper is not there, but in the waking, waker is there. So all these roles are played, but this common denominator. In the waking, he took the garb of the waker, in the dream, the dreamer, in the deep sleeper, and yet without anything. This is the crux of the 15th chapter, 15th verse. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishtaha mattaha smriti jnanam apohanancha. I alone support waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi. Therefore, sarvaihi vedaihi aham eva vedya. The purpose of all the scriptures only this much. Know yourself. That is worthy of knowing. So, how to do that? This is what is said. Vivichatam bhoktrutvam jagradadisha asangata. So, we are not touched by anything. Therefore, I told you one principle, asangata. Attachment is an illusion. Non-attachment is natural. Attachment is not the truth. We are not attached even to our own body. See, if we were attached to the body, how do we sleep in the satsang? Think, don't worry, who is sleeping? Jagrat comes and goes. It makes no difference to us. Waking comes and goes. We are the same. Hold on to this. So, you started, who is the experiencer, and what will be the conclusion? There is nobody experiencer. The more you reflect on this line, that is Vedanta sadhana. And therefore we told you, spiritual practice is not a part-time profession. Half an hour meditation, rest of the day frustration. Go and give food to the beggars, and after that, useless people. No, who asked you? But then we will make the videos and post it on the media. I have done so much of it. That is not spiritual life. Don't get into the so-called social service. So, anvaya vyatirekabhyam sakshani sakshani adyavasiyate. In this manner, yatra yad drishtate drashta jagra swapna sushuptishu tatraiva tan na itara iti anubhutirhi sammata. Therefore, it is so simple. Jagrat Purush is available only in Jagrat Avastha. Swapna Purush is available only in the Swapna. Deep sleeper available only in the deep sleep. The worries of the dream are limited only for the dreamer. The riches of the waker are only for the waker. On the basis of this, Janak Maharaja asked a question and Ashtavakra Gita was born. He asked, after the noon lunch, he was just having a short nap and he dreamed that there is a famine and there is terrible difficulty in getting food. So he was standing also in a queue and a dog came and take the food from his hand. So he was running after the dog. He toppled and the dream broke. Then his question was whether I, the king, was the beggar or beggar, the king is I. Who is this? Waker has no entry in the dream. The dream riches cannot be smuggled in the waking. And both of them are eliminated by us. So like, because of three upadhis, one appears to have become three, son, husband and father. In the same manner, because of the upadhi of the body, we become waker. Because of the upadhi of the mind, we become dreamer. Because of the upadhi of the absence of the two, we become deep sleeper. So like one man appears to have become three, but he never becomes three. And the miserable entities are these three non-existing entities. In the same manner, the samsara is lived by these non-existing entities. See? Yatra yad drishyate drashta jagra sapna sishiptichu tatra eva tat. He remains only limited to that. He is not available everywhere. See? This is our direct experience. We don't have to believe. It is true. Sa yattat ikshate kinchit tena anvagato bhaved drishtva punya papam cha iti shrutishu dindimaha. Therefore, our scriptures very distinctly tell that wherever we are according to the state of our mind or that experience in that particular state. In waking, if we are miserable, only waking, but in the dream we are enjoying. What is the truth? Truth is, the illuminator is not influenced by what is illumined. Knowledge does not get contaminated. When we see the vigraha, the vision doesn't become pure. When we see the filth, the vision doesn't become impure. When there is a waking dream, nothing is added to us. When there is a deep sleep and samadhi, there is no loss. When there are waves, the ocean doesn't become rich. When all the waves disappear, ocean doesn't become poor. Recognize this and be happy. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.